Hey everyone, it's Karima Garg with my group from Divine Educational Institute. Here we are going to present our views on freedom. This golden opportunity is given by our teacher Mr. Vinay Sharma. So here is our group. We are going to give a speech on freedom from the chapter A Long Walk to Freedom by Nelson Mandela. So here I have a question for you. Should we spend our whole life like a prisoner or there are some other options to get freedom? Just think about it. When you listen the word freedom, a question is stuck in your mind that what is freedom? So Shreya Goyal is coming to tell you the answer of this question.
Freedom is something that everybody has heard of, but if you ask for its meaning, then everyone will give you different meaning. Have you ever think why everyone will give you different meaning? This is so because everyone has different opinion about freedom. For some, freedom means the freedom of going anywhere they like. For some, it means to speak up from themselves, and for some, it is a liberty of doing anything they like. But the real meaning of freedom is freedom refers to a state of independence where you can do what you like without any restriction by anyone. Moreover, freedom can be called a state of mind where you have the right and freedom of doing what you can think of. Also, you can feel freedom from within.
Everyone has their own value of freedom according to their demands. So Kanishka Goyal is coming to tell her views on value of freedom.
The real value of anything can only be understood by those who have earned it or who have sacrificed their lives for it. Freedom also means liberalization from oppression. It also means the freedom from racism, from the opposition, from discrimination, and many more. Freedom does not mean that you violate others' right. It does not mean that you disregard others' right. India is a country which was earlier ruled by Britishers, and to get rid of these rulers, India fight back and earned their freedom. But during this long fight, many people lost their lives, and because of the sacrifice of those people, India is an independent country. Moreover, after independence, India became one of those countries who give its citizens some freedom rights without any restriction. For 200 years, India struggled to free itself from the shackles of British rule, and even every day was a struggle for Indians fighting for their freedom. And after a long struggle, India finally got its freedom on 15th August 1947.
The meaning of freedom is different at different stages of life. So now Niharika is coming to tell you about different levels of freedom.
There are different levels of freedom for everyone, so let's take the example of Nelson Mandela. When he was a child, freedom for him was that he was born free. Free to run in the fields, freedom for everyone. So let's take the example of Nelson Mandela. When he was a child, freedom for him was that he was born free. Free to run in the fields. When he was in his boyhood, freedom was just an illusion. He wanted freedom for himself, the transitory freedom of being able to stay out at night. But it was not only him, but his brothers and sisters were not free. He saw that it was not only his freedom that was curtailed. That is when the hunger for his own freedom became the greater hunger for the freedom of his people. Just like him, other freedom fighters also began to fight for their country with a feeling of patriotism. Freedom is invisible. The chains on any one of his people were the chains on all of them. The chains on all of his people were the chains on him.
Now Khushi Goyal is coming to tell you about contribution of freedom fighters.
Freedom fighters inspired and motivated others to fight injustice. They are the pillars behind the freedom movement. They made people aware of their rights and their power. It is all because of the freedom fighters that we prospered into a free country free from any kind of injustice. For example, the father of the nation, Mahatma Gandhi, started the Champaran movement in India. Nelson Mandela sets an example of dedication, sacrifice, and courage. He staunched efforts against apartheid, racism, and social injustice in South Africa. Samuel Adams played a major contribution towards the American Revolution. He helped to organize the Sons of Liberty, signed the Declaration of Independence, and formulate the resistance to the Stamp Act. There are many other freedom fighters who fought for their motherland. Most of the freedom fighters sacrificed their lives in the War of Independence for their country.
That brings us to the end of our presentation. So I would like to conclude our whole presentation by calling Chakshu Garg.
Freedom is a fundamental human right that must be upheld in democratic societies. Yet there is a worrying global trend of government unjustifiable limiting freedom of speech, targeting journalists, protesters, and other persons considered to be dissenting from government views. It is imperative that civil societies across the globe are vigilant in defending freedom. This is necessary for the enhancement of people's lives, creation and maintenance of strong, healthy, democratic societies. In other words, freedom is a common victory for justice, for peace, for human dignity. As there is a great saying, I was not born with a hunger to be free, I was born free, free in every way that I could know, by Nelson Mandela. So here we are going to end this presentation with the answer of the question which we had asked in the beginning of the presentation. So here it is. Better to die fighting for freedom than be a prisoner all days of your life.
Eventually, I would like to thank you all from the core of my heart to listen us carefully.